Hello everyone. Today we have with us here the director at Central Institute of Plastic Engineering and Technology, Ahmedabad, and he will be sharing his insights with us today. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yes. So please give a brief introduction of yourself, and then we can start with the questions.
So I am Dr. Abdul Qadir, the Principal Director, Head Office at Ahmedabad, and we are having a specialization course in the plastic engineering technology, and those courses which are supplementing the plastics technology, like manufacturing engineering. These are the two courses we are offering from the Institute of Ahmedabad as far as the GTU is concerned.
Sir, so the first question I would like to ask is, what are the key factors that keep you connected with the education sector?
Initially, if you see my background, I am the PhD from Indian Institute of Science and Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. Before joining CIPET, I was working in an education institution, which is in Chennai, for the last 26 years. After that, I joined CIPET. So obviously, during my master course as well as PhD course, I was so much interested to give the kind of service to the society through the teaching. So obviously, I chose by choice rather than by chance the education sector. So I will be able to be successful in this education. So I feel that the students who are in contact with me, who studied 25 years before, I take a proud that this is the only sector where your contact with your old friends in the form of students still exists.
So, sir, being the principal director, what is your philosophy of leadership, and how would you describe your leadership style?
So usually, there are so many definitions for the leaders, and there is a definition parallelly for the boss also. So the leader take everybody along with him. So here the leadership is for the education, where the input is in the student form, and also output is also in the student form who will be getting graduation. That means a leader should show the path for the successful career of the students through the different arenas, including their placement activities and other things. So it is a primary leadership quality for the education sector is to impart memorable knowledge in the area of the teaching where we are interested. So obviously, a student who goes out of the institution should have the same kind of attitude and the inspiration what we have as a teacher. Okay.
So, sir, in your experience, what can an inbound student gain from studying here in your institute?
See that when a student gets admitted into the course, obviously his expectation will be very high, stating that I will become one day a kind of person who can control many of the sector. This is a intention they come. And obviously, when they go through the courses for 4 years here or anywhere in the education institution, obviously their mood and their attitude will be like a waveform, fluctuating, going upward sometime, going downward sometime. And finally, when they come to the final year, they feel that they are now given responsibility for their family, to their country, to the society and other things. Obviously, the fulfillment for these people, country, and the society is very much more. So he has to do in such a way that it will be fulfilling his qualities. So, as an administrator of the college, I need to have a kind of rapport with the students as well as my fellow faculties, so that there will be a cordial relation and mutual understanding between the students and the faculty, so that there will be a one-to-one interaction and win-to-win situations. That is my kind of administration policy.
So, sir, how does the curriculum of an institute ensure the best practice of the industry?
See, the curriculum is designed for a particular sector. Here is a plastic engineering. That means we are unique. We have a very different outlook than that of any other engineering courses. So if you talk about general, mechanical, electrical, civil engineering, these are the mothers. There is the core engineering subject. Here we have the curriculum, which is almost imparting the knowledge, mostly in the practical form, with the machines which are available in industry. So there is no kind of demo version of the instruments or equipment or machinery. It is almost whatever available in the industry, it's a replica. So obviously the students are getting trained in a real-time equipment machinery which are in the industry, so that they are getting a good hands-on knowledge. Because actually the curriculum is made in such a way that they are getting 100% the what you call training of, or what you call hands-on training oriented courses. So obviously that is one of the thing we do better. And second thing, the manufacturing engineering also, it's not like a general mechanical, but it's almost the manufacturing process for the plastic industries, like a mold making, mold design, tool design, rapid prototyping, and advanced manufacturing operations and rapid tooling. Those are the areas the students will be exposed to in a real practical knowledge, and when they come out, they will be able to support the plastic industries or polymer industries in general. So curriculum is made based on these requirements. Obviously, all the CIPET centers are having almost a similar kind of curriculum. Only there will be a variation in the kind of core subjects, elective subject, or the other subjects, and their credit system. They're based on the local regional universities.
Sir, any insights into how your institute could be more welcoming to students of different races or economic backgrounds?
Yeah, this is what we feel, that those who are coming to CIPET, they are all from different strata of the society. So people who are coming here, they are very poor. Mostly they are having a very poor background, and they want to have kind of exposure. After the exposure studying, they will be able to directly be absorbed in industry, so that they will be the revenue generating member of the family. That means that they will earn after completion of the courses. So obviously with that motto in their curriculum, so we mostly impart training for the students socially background, that is backward students, so that most of our students are having a kind of commitment, or the institute has the commitment for supporting the socially backward students. That is one of the I can say that achievement of the CIPET.
Sir, what do you think are roles and responsibilities to the institute and the students?
I can say that it's not only my role, but as an institute role or the faculty role, is to make them understand clearly, thoroughly what they are doing, first of all. Without understanding something and doing something, that will not be kept in mind. So what they are doing now will be useful for their future.
Sir, what do you think should be your institute's top priority over the next 10 years?
See, the scenario is changing every day, but the priorities are also changing. Obviously, India is becoming a country where they need a lot of potential for the skill development, and also with the innovation. So Government of India has announced this Skill India and Innovative India, where we need to have the sustainability for our own requirements, our own needs and other things. So obviously we need to impart, or we need to train the students who will be able to make themselves fit for the job required. Quite many times it is a complaint from the general public that out of 100 students, only 30 students are employable in engineering colleges. So we need to change the situation, that all the 100 people will be able to do their best for the industry and for the society. So obviously our plan, our motto for the next year, to make a world-class kind of education in the plastic engineering and technology. Now we are going into the next step, that is called the petrochemical area. So CIPET will be now called the Central Institute of Plastic Engineering It is now petrochemical engineering and technology. That means our area is widened to give more thrust areas of the petrochemicals, including plastics and polymer, elastomers, adhesives, textiles, etc. So our next 10-year plan is to expand our area of the education, research and development technical services so that we'll be able to serve the nation with new kind of people who will be having specialization in the petrochemical industries also. So we will be putting a lot of efforts for the advanced researchers and development activities in order to get kind of world-class manpower for serving the nation in next 10 years.
Sir, when you first came to this institute, what was your vision for the institute? Has it evolved over time, and how far along in implementing that vision are you?
Yeah, when I joined this institute, what happened that there was a concentration mostly on imparting the training, and there was no requirement from other side that we need to have intellectual developments. We need to have what you call knowledgeable persons, and we need to have the skills which are readily accepted by the industries. So obviously, over the period of time, it has changed the scenario, and that's why we started the kind of courses in engineering and technology for imparting BE manufacturing, BE plastic engineering technology. We are now going for the other kind of degrees which are supporting our core area of the activities. So obviously we see that there are so much of changes which have taken place in the last 10 years, and hereafter also there will be so much changes for the next 10 years. So obviously it is a never-ending changes which are taking place continuously. So we need to make ourselves fit for this kind of activities. So we'll be going with all this thrust for the improvements, further improvements.
Sir, what would you like people to know about your institute that they may not know?
Quite many times it is seen this CIPET as a kind of training institute, giving training for the students only up to a kind of diploma or polytechnic level of institute. But those people who are in industry, they know about CIPET, stating that they are getting the service, technical support service in the form of testing, characterization and processing. But we want to bring as a whole, the CIPET is having a kind of support for all the people, from A to Z we can say. So this is our motto to bring to the, that is to convey to the people that CIPET is now meant for all kind of people who are interested getting a kind of support in plastics, polymer and petrochemical.
Sir, what are some of the biggest challenges you see both for higher education in general and for your institute specifically?
Now the biggest challenge or the problem or the hiccup, we can say that the students who are now exposed to a kind of knowledge through the internet and so many other social medias, and they are able to get both good and bad informations, in the sense that if the information which is coming correctly, then they are getting benefited. If the information which are shared through the social media or the internet, say for example, one of the things we can quote Wikipedia, where you will be able to get all the definitions and terminologies related to technology, engineering. However, sometimes the malfeeding of the internet through the misinformation as well as through wrong input, that makes the deviation from the the knowledgeable society. So the student has to have a kind of filter in their mind so that they take only the positive things and eliminate the negative things.
Okay, sir. So, any suggestions you would like to give to the current youth and the aspiring students?
You see that the current youth is having potential for improvement. I just read from one of the newspaper today that IITs are able to give the youth students having knowledge which is accepted by the United Nations giant software companies, where they are offered the salary package of pay package of 1.5 crores. It is miraculous in the sense that our youths are able to capture the top position of the companies not only in India but also abroad. So they have the huge potential for getting such a things done in their youth. So every youth has to make some kind of determination so that they will be able to achieve their goals in their life. So we have today's youth has a lot of avenues for learning. Everywhere the knowledges are spread. Only thing they have to take and then assimilate and then go further for it. So that is the suggestion I am giving. And those who are aspiring for the engineering courses, especially in plastic engineering and technology or petrochemical or chemical engineering, a similar kind of field, they need to be prepared for these today's challenges. There are so much of challenges, competitions, and similarly opportunities. So these three things are going all along together: challenges, opportunities, and what they call the challenges and opportunities. So obviously, students have to take the best of the challenges and make use of the best of the opportunities, so that they will be able to succeed in their life, so that they can serve for the society and the nation.
So lastly, I would like to ask you, how do you tend to establish a healthy relation and environment in your institution?
So healthy relation in the sense that the relation between the faculty, each other, and the relation between faculty and student, the relation between students and student. These are the three kind of healthy relations we need to maintain, so that the institute will not suffer from any of the problems. So obviously we maintain a good rapport with the students. Each students know each other, and being a small and compact, we can say that we are not having many courses here. So only 2 courses are running. So each students know each other. So obviously there is a healthy relation between the students. And similarly, faculties are also having good relation with the students. They take care of the individual students' requirement, their needs, both inside campus and outside campus also. We maintain a kind of relation with the students through the social media, including WhatsApp, so that anything can be conveyed to the faculties as well as to the head of the institution, head of the departments, and then faculty advisors, then coordinators. Everybody is having that kind of things. In addition to that, non-teaching staff, who are also playing from behind the screen, they are also doing their job to the improvement of the students. So we maintain good environment within the campus, so that each one knows each other, and there is a healthy environment. We keep it inside the campus. So obviously we don't find any challenges right now for this one. We also welcome these the suggestions and then comments from the students, so that for the gradual and periodical improvement or continuous improvement, we will take into account the suggestions given by the students and faculty for the continual improvement.
Okay, sir. Thank you for the insightful interview. It was great talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you.